like to welcome all of you here on behalf of AAUW. I'm Debbie Watts, I'm the AAUW president this year, and it's so great to see all of you, and we hope you have a really enjoyable time visiting, and we've got a little program, but first we'd like to have you go ahead and fill your plates. First time through. So you can actually go to either table, they're set up just the same, and we're just serving from the front of the table. So the American Association of University Women, and it was first started in 1881, and it's open to all graduates who hold an associate degree or higher from a qualified educational institution. And in the last few years, they've even had some AAUW chapters on campuses on some of the colleges. We also, our local organization started in 1939, and we have a group of about 25 women now that belong, and we've also even had a male member in the past, so you guys, it's something you could look into also. Locally, we've been very involved with some projects, the daycare center at one time, helping with the library projects. Each year, our organization does a scholarship for seniors, so we hope that some of you put in for that. And we do several fundraisers to raise money towards that. We just finished last week with a candidates forum, so we've been very active in promoting candidates forum and registering to vote. Mrs. Crocker does a wonderful job leading the forum each year, and we really hope that all of you that have turned 18 or is teaching 18 will consider registering and take part in the voting process. So AAUW is very active in that. In statewide and federal, we're always working towards cases that deal with women's rights and equal pay for equal work. There also support. We have a legal advocacy fund, and we do quite a bit to promote education also with girls and women in the science field, and also they started a new chapter with trying to bring civics back to the schools. Some schools have it as an elective rather than a required class, so AAUW is kind of working on getting that back as a requirement. And again, locally, we participated, we've had some home tours, we've done several projects in the community. We meet once a month and we try to have different guest speakers that are of interest. We've done some book studies. We've also had some of you come as local for the area card speeches. So we've seen several of you in the past few years that have given the speeches for us, and we always enjoy that. So we are very honored to do this for you, and so glad that you all took time out of your day to show up for this. And we wish you all the best in your upcoming graduation. Our guest speaker today, we're also very honored to have Kristen Collins. It's an introduction. Kristen is married to Jay Collins, mother of 3 children. So she has Bailey, Davis, and Claire. She had lived and owned a business in Vancouver, Washington for 15 years. And then she and her family moved to Lakeview in 2006. And she taught English for 7 years, of course, at Lakeview High School, and is currently working at the as the Youth Investment Coordinator for Lake County. And I know, because I've seen it firsthand, that Kristen cherishes the time she spends working with all of you and the youth of the community. So we welcome her today.
First things first, I am not going to cry. So I've always told you that change is always going to be discounted, right? Nothing is as constant as change. And today is one of those changes that you've been anxiously waiting for, right? This is a big one. From this moment on, your life will never be the same. Well, from graduation on, your life will never be the same. For 12 years, you've known exactly what the plan was. You have parents, teachers, and adults kind of making decisions for you, whether you wanted it or not. Okay? But things are about to change, and those basic decisions will now be up to you. Freedom, liberation, right? You've been waiting for this. It's a great thing, but there's also a big increase in personal responsibility. You get to decide when you'll get up in the morning, or if you'll get up in the morning, if you go to class or your job, how you'll treat the person sitting next to you, what kind of language you'll use, and countless other decisions. If you want to write a paper and use the word stuff, it's up to you. I will not be there to say anything about it. You will also have to live with the consequences, good or bad. And now we're talking about big boy consequences. That's the beauty of being an adult, right? And you're ready for this. You're equipped to do this. Your parents, your teachers, the community have all prepared you for your future. Arnold Bennett, a British writer, said that any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomforts. This change that begins with graduation will not always be easy. At times, you'll feel a little bit displaced, a little bit lost, maybe unsure what to do next. You may feel like you don't really fit anywhere. These feelings of discomfort will pass, and you will find your place. Of course, you have to. You can't stay in the security of high school forever. You must have courage and move forward. I know this sounds great, but how do you accomplish it? And I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't have all the answers. I know you all think I do, right? I don't. But there are two things that I wish someone had told me when I graduated. And so I'm going to tell these things to you, and I hope that you listen. I hope that you'll hang on my every word like you always have done, right? Okay. The first thing that I think is really important is gratitude. Simple gratitude. Always be grateful for the opportunity of life itself. Be grateful for the chance to really mess it up big one day, and then learn from that mistake, and wake up the next day prepared to do better. What a gift to wake up each morning with a new opportunity to do better. Another English author, you know I like my authors, Aldous Huxley wrote, "Most human beings have an infinite capacity for taking things for granted. Don't take anything or anyone for granted. Be grateful for those who have sacrificed for you." We often take for granted the very people who most deserve our gratitude. Every day, look for something in the people around you to be grateful for, and then tell them thank you. You will feel good, and so will they. You never know when it will be too late. Remember, change is constant. The person sitting next to you may not be there tomorrow. Some of you have shared little notes of gratitude with me. They have made such a huge difference. Most of these notes came when I felt down or discouraged, and they lifted me. Never underestimate the power of thank you. Okay. A grateful attitude will also help you weather the storms that life will surely throw at you. When you are discouraged and beaten down by life, list at least 10 things you're grateful for. You will immediately feel better, I promise. You'll no longer want to give up. True, there are a lot of things wrong with the world we live in. Turn on the news, watch the presidential election. But there are a lot of good things, and a lot of things that you can be grateful for. Focus on the positive. There are a lot of positive things in this room today. Be grateful for the opportunity to grow up in this town. Very few people get to experience life in a community like Lakeview. Never apologize for the big city experience that you may lack. This small town has made you who you are. Be proud of that. Second thing I want to tell you is, and I've told you this a million times, you can do hard things, right? The dictionary is your friend and you can do hard things. Remember that. Sometimes we avoid challenges because of fear. That's understandable. It's a normal human reaction. But we need to overcome it. And I know this from personal experience, and I shared this before, so, and I still haven't overcome it, so I'm afraid to parallel park. And I avoided it all costs. And I'm 50 years old, and I still can't parallel park. Bonnie and I went to, Mrs. Chavez and I went to a training up in Portland, and I was all worried for a second. So if I had to drive, where will I park? Luckily, Mrs. Chavez drove, and I didn't have to worry about it. But if I would just face that fear, it wouldn't be stressing me out, right? So I need to learn how to parallel park. And I can get away with it in Lakeview. Which is why I'm still 50 and don't have but really, if I would just address that fear and face it, it would no longer be a problem. There is a lot of fear out there. The world you're about to enter is very unsure of itself. It will be easy to let fear rule your future. It will be easy to let fear rule your future and where you can park. Don't give in. Fear saps your strength, it reduces your efficiency and your contributions, and it brings doubt and distrust, and it comes in all shapes and sizes. Some of us fear criticism and rejection. Maybe you're afraid someone will disapprove of where you want to go to school, or that you don't want to go to school at all. Maybe you are considering entering the workforce, or even the military. Perhaps your dream is outside of the norm entirely. Sometimes it's hard to go against the flow, the norm. But study your path. Talk to those closest to you, those who you love and respect. Consider carefully. Listen to what your heart tells you to do, and do it. Believe in yourself and your ability to make a good decision. Each one of you is absolutely amazing. I have always thought so. Okay, sometimes we fear events such as examinations, interviews, and even changes. Remember, you can do hard things. Avoiding a challenge is the beginning of defeat. Courage is the beginning of success. Believe that you are capable of great things, just like I believe you are capable of great things. You gain courage and confidence with each challenge you meet, regardless of the outcome. Now, I think the biggest fear of all is the fear of failure. However, we should approach things in a different way, because and I think I've told you this before too, that embrace your failure, because you learn more from a failure than you do from a win, right? So if you use your failures in the right way, they can work for you. There is no disgrace in failure. The disgrace is in giving up or not trying at all. Your success in life has nothing to do with your profession or your possessions, but will instead depend on the character that you develop. Character is developed when you face your fears. Maybe we should be more worried about aiming too low instead of failure. Aim high. Don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to fail. I got this. Okay, so I thought a lot about, what do I want to tell them? This is our last lesson. And there's so many things that I want for you and to say to you. And it's hard to, wrap up in 10 minutes. So I was listening to the radio, and this song came on, and I'm like, and I was like, ding, 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 that is what I want to tell them. More than anything. Yes, I want you to be successful and have lots of great things in your life, but more than anything, I want you to always be humble and kind. Okay, I'm gonna get through this. There's a light that goes by the front door. Don't forget the keys under the mat. While the stars shine, always stay humble and kind. Go to church, because your mama and Mrs. Collins. Visit Grandpa and Grandma every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. And always stay humble and kind. Hold the door. Say please. Say thank you. Don't steal. Don't cheat. And don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb. Stay humble and kind. When the dreams that you're dreaming come to you, when the work that you put in is realized, let yourself feel that pride, but still stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from anyone. Tim McGraw says, no one. Don't feel a grudge, or don't feed a grudge, or hold a grudge, or a chip. And here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love? I love you isn't a casual encounter. Stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When those dreams that you're dreaming come to you, when the work that you put in is realized, let yourself feel that pride and stay humble and kind. When it's hot, you remove your popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down and let the summer sun shine. But always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love that this life gives you. And when you get where you're going, don't forget to turn back around and head to the next one. Always stay humble and kind. I love you. Thank you for letting me.